Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Secretary Solis, for being here today. I think I'm going to be fairly brief. It'll depend on how long your answer is, but I was at the Rutherford County's annual Farm Bureau legislation luncheon this past Friday, and one of their big concerns was the child labor laws. And given this great opportunity today to alleviate some of their fears on what their farm kids can and can't do, could you just maybe give me an update of where that stands and where it's headed?
Well, we are looking at the parental exemption status, so I can't go into a lot of detail, but I said earlier to the committee what we're attempting to do and what it isn't. And first of all, I have to tell you again, reiterate that this is a rule that's been around for 40 years. What we're trying to do here is we're not talking about kids who are currently employed. So if there's an employee relationship, you know, we care about if there are kids 16 and older that are working on a farm and they are exposed to maybe equipment that could be harmful. We're talking about grains. We're talking about equipment that can be injurious. And I said earlier that there was a high rate of injury in this area. So we want to protect them. We want better training. We obviously want to allow for the 4-H and education programs that we know have been around to also bring up their standards, because with 40 years gone by, there have been people that still think it's done the old way, and in the old way you have more injuries and it costs businesses more money. But we're saying if it's a family farm, then that's different, and we're not going to intrude on that. If it's a farm where there's a relative, we're looking at that as something that's wholesome, fine. But when we're talking about a business relationship with a business entrepreneur, and that's different, then they have an obligation, and that's where we're going. But I can't really say a whole lot except to say we are listening very carefully. We've gotten a lot of concerns, comments, many thousands of paper on this, so I know that my acting director now for Wage and Hour will be continuing to meet with stakeholders and going out. So as much as we can do and learn, we're willing to do that, but without compromising the safety of these young people.
Yeah. But as far as farm kids, say 12, 13, 14, it's not uncommon for them to drive the tractor down driving the tractor down the hayfield. There were some concerns about moving irrigation lines. Somebody said that that could be considered dangerous. Excuse me, dangerous to the point that they might even restrict them standing in the front yard with garden hoses. Now, that sounds like a bit of an exaggeration, yeah. But nonetheless, how intrusive is this going to be in terms?
Well, I can't talk definitively about it because we're proposing it, but I can assure you, as I said, the idea that somehow we would be regulating the use of a battery-powered screwdriver is not my way of rationalizing how we want to protect people. We're talking about tractor trailers when people are not appropriately trained, and we're talking about a difference in terms of relationship. If it's a child whose family owns a farm, that's a different relationship. Okay. I'm talking about an employer relationship.
Yeah, no, I know Tennessee has the largest farm bureau in the country. I know they're very interested in this, so I would encourage further dialogue.
Talk to them.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Losing my voice, so I'll yield back. Okay. Thank the gentleman.